Guys, we'll start with BBC Radio Leicester, please.
Brendan, hi, it's Ian Stringer up in the commentary box. We're live on BBC Radio Leicester as ever. I won't keep you as long. Hi, Brendan. I won't keep you any longer than I need to, because there's been a lot of media interest after that 2-0 win. Incredible. Congratulations. There's so many things I'd imagine that please you about the display. What pleases you most this evening?
I think the performance and the maturity in the team. I thought we started the game really well. We knew we were playing against a really, really talented team. We have lots of talented players, so we had to be right on our game. But now through the lines, Ian, I thought defensively we were very good. We made a slight adjustment at half time because I felt in the last 15 minutes of the half, they started to get through us centrally and combine a little bit, which gave us a bit of a problem. And we organised that at half time to force them outside a little bit more. So that's a great credit to the players that they find that solution and did it really well. But I thought we were a real threat going forward. We knew we had to defend well. So to keep a clean sheet against that level of team and play the way we did, and then the second half, as well as be organised and defend well, we still looked a real threat. So now overall very pleasing.
Matt Piper had a very difficult decision to make with his man of the match. He awarded it to Wesley Fofana. Was he part of a defensive unit tonight that put on your best defensive display of the season, do you think?
Well, that came from the front, in all honesty, because in order to defend against a team like Chelsea with that quality, everyone has to be collectively working well. So yeah, he's an immense young talent for 20 years of age. Johnny beside him, the two fullbacks, outstanding along with Casper. But in order to get the victory tonight, we had to collectively defend well, Ian, and I think that's what we did through the lines, defend very well.
You seem to press very intelligently as well. I know that Chelsea came to try and press you, but the way in which you pressed them, particularly in the first half, seemed... You mentioned the word maturity, Brendan, in the first 5 words of your assessment to us tonight, and that's something that seemed to really stand out with the way in which collectively you pressed Chelsea this evening.
Yeah, well, it's one where you need to educate your pressure on them. If you go 100% all the time, and then they've got that quality to play through it. So we had to wait for the right moments to jump, and because as I said, they get real talent, but the players did that very well. And you have to run, you have to work, you have to run forward, you have to run back, and you've just seen the real spirit in the team tonight. You to win a game like this, you need quality, but you need to have a unified team, and collectively they were excellent.
I think that's your first win over Chelsea as well, Brendan. It's taken a while, but you've got them, and you've now beaten every Premier League side that you've faced.
That's what you're paid to do. That's what your job is. So yeah, it's listen. There's no extra satisfaction, and Chelsea was an amazing club for me when I was a youth coach and a reserve coach. So I've got huge respect for them. It just so happened to be I went close a number of times, never ever won a game. But there's no extra satisfaction. They're a really talented team of players, and we knew we had to play well to win.
As Wilfred Ndidi had one of those in his locker for a few games, Brendan, he's been having a pop from distance from time to time, and clearly put that one away beautifully. Has he got that in his locker, Wilfred?
Well, I think what we've seen of him the last few games, he's hit the corner flag. He's nearly kicked them over the stand. But to be fair, he is persistent. And actually, the corner worked really, really well for us. We the design to get Harvey free, and it worked actually absolutely perfectly. But he sort of miskicks it, and then it comes back. And to be fair to Wilf, he was there and took the shot, and it was a wonderful strike.
Finally from me, Brendan, my father's quite a betting man. He bets responsibly, but he keeps trying to convince me that he should put a couple of quid. You're 40-1 to win the Premier League. Have you got any advice for him?
No, keep your money in your pocket. Don't gamble, and spend it on something else.
Yeah, thank you very much, Brendan. Well answered. Congratulations, a magnificent win. Well done tonight.
Cheers. Thanks, Ian. Thank you.
Okay,
so that's Brendan Rodgers.
So let's go to Rob Dorset, please.
Hi, Brendan. 2 quick ones from me, mate, if that's okay. Well done tonight.
Thank you.
Listen, the first one is probably an obvious one, but I think it's an honest question. Frank Lampard said before the game he genuinely sees you as title contenders. you've now gone and beaten them with a side of Chelsea's quality, with all the wealth that they've had in assembling their squad. Are you ready to accept yet that you are title contenders?
I don't really think about it, to be honest, Rob. In all fairness, I think it's something that gets floated about. And listen, we've seen it all season, haven't we? Tottenham a few weeks ago were going to be winning the title or being up there challenging. Chelsea themselves, 5-6 weeks ago, everyone talking about them. People will associate with us because we're up about it and consistently playing well. You get the qualities of Man City here, amazing. Liverpool, the champions. Manchester United have been great. So, listen, for us to look and see Leicester City up in and around that with the levels of teams that are there, of course, that makes me really happy. But I also understand that for us to be there, it's going to be a huge challenge for us to be up there. But we're happy to take on that challenge, and that's all we'll look to do.
Thank you. And last one, Jamie Redknapp has just said on our programme that Wesley Fofana will eclipse the £80 million fee that Leicester got for Harry Maguire, he believes, in the future. He also said that he expects Wesley Fofana to become the best defender in Europe when he's grown a bit more and got a bit more experience. That's some words from Jamie Redknapp. He doesn't say that sort of thing lightly. How do you react to that?
Well, yeah, it was. Listen, whenever we seen him within the first minute of watching him, you can tell the talent. You know, this is a boy who's never been involved in any French international youth teams right the way through. So, and he'd only played, a really small number of games, but you see his talent, and what he needed was a platform to come into. So he's come into us. And he's been immense, really. He's just turned 20 years of age. He has everything. He's still learning about the Premier League and the intensity. But what you want from a defender, to be aggressive, be strong, be dominant in the air, be quick. He's your ideal footballer. Mentally tough, very coachable, wants to learn. And where he is fortunate, he's playing beside one of the best centre-halves in this league. We had it last year with Cags, and we've had it this year with Wesley. What helps them massively is Johnny Evans. Johnny Evans, one of the top centre-halves in this league. So playing beside Johnny really, really helps Wesley. But he's enjoying his time. He's loving it here. And I've got no doubt he'll get a little bit more football nous over these next few years. And he's going to be a top player.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Okay, let's go to Jordan Blackwood, please.
Hi, Brendan.
Hi, Jordan.
That's now 4 wins from 6 games against the Big Six. I think it was 2 out of 12 last season. Is that something you specifically looked at this season, something where you need to improve, and what has improved in that regard in those games?
No, we didn't look specifically at it. We just, I think it's a natural consequence of the guys developing, their training, their working, their confidence. And you must forget that we got a really young team. And we should have, and maybe could have won more games last season. But no, I think the players showed in this opening half of the season that they can compete. They have the quality, and it's just about that maturation level tactically. They're developing. I said before, they've got huge potential, Jordan, but they need time and they need consistency. And they're shown in this early part of the season that they have that. The trick now is to keep that hunger, keep that desire, if you want to be constantly towards the top of this league. And that's something that is my job to constantly drive that.
And how pleased are you that Jamie Vardy's not scored for 5 games now, but you're still unbeaten, you're still winning games? How pleased are you that other players are stepping up when perhaps that didn't happen last season? Yeah,
I just think it's like I said, it's growth of players. Jamie does a brilliant job for us. Like his, the goal was a great pass by for James Maddison's goal by Mark Albrighton, and we're encouraging the guys to run forward more and not so much always be in the build-up play. And you see what Vards does, he attracts the 2 centre-halves, and that allows James Maddison to get in. So even though when he's not scoring, he's offering up space for other players. And so that makes us happy. But they all have to contribute, the attacking players. Harvey's been scoring a lot recently, Matters, Vards, and Mark Albrighton even scored the other week. So that is important. But also the clean sheet, defensively very strong. against a really, really top team, and that was pleasing.
Thanks, Brendan. Well done today.
Thanks, Jordan.
Okay, we'll finish with James Nurse again, please.
Evening, Brendan. Hello.
Hi, James.
James Maddison said in his post-match interview on TV that he had a meeting with you recently, and one of the analysts to sort of pinpoint where you felt he could add goals and assists to his game. I mean, could you give us a little bit more of an insight into that? Because it looks like it's paid dividends.
Yeah, well, I think the goal's an example. I think that, and James will do, and as will Harvey and some of these players, I think when they get that little bit more football nous over these coming years, they're going to realise, so for the likes of James, what we're saying to him is to be not just a player that can play in between the lines and take the ball to feet, but be a running number 10, go and break the line, go and get beyond. It was taking them through clips and of players and moves, and we just it's what development is, and that's the great joy in coaching. And for him, he can get those goals, and tonight was a great example where he's not interested always in getting into feet, but he's up there running in behind. And we know when he's in there, he can finish. So it was a great goal for him and a great goal for his development, which is important.
And he said that he felt those goals and assists and the numbers could really help his claims with England. He freely volunteered that. So I guess you'd echo that. Would you back up that? I mean, it's hard to leave a player out maybe if he's getting on the goals he's getting at the moment.
Well, they can't do any more. If I look at James, he's producing. He's now sort of getting towards a good level of fitness, and if he's creating goals and scoring goals, he can do no more. It's just about preference then. Harvey Barnes is saying Harvey's on double figures now, and he again, another really talented young English player. I look at James Justin tonight, and see him, a player who can play equally as comfortably at left back and right back. Sensational he was in his defending and support getting forward. So the young English talents here, they're very concentrated on doing their job here with Leicester, and if they play well, perform well, they can't do any more.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Okay, thank you, everybody.
Thanks, guys. Cheers.